students, ang topic po natin ngayon ay tungkol sa square root. Please like, share, and subscribe to Ma'am Desma Tutorials. Hit the notification bell button to alert you for our next video lesson. Okay, let's start from the objective. At the end of the video, the student should be able to describe principal roots and tell whether they are rational or irrational. Number 2, determine between what two integers the square root of a number is. Noon ay pinag-aralan natin ang rational numbers. And then, na-discuss po natin ang rational numbers ay mga numbers na pwede po nating isulat as fractions. Okay? Tapos, yung denominator ay dapat hindi zero. So, ngayon naman, pag-aaralan natin or didiscuss natin ang principal root and irrational numbers. Start tayo sa perfect square. Ano po ba ang perfect square? A number which is the result of squaring a certain number. Pag sinabi pong nating squaring a certain number, ito yung mga number na mamultiply natin sa kanyang sarili. At ang sagot po doon ay laging perfect square. Example, 4 squared. So, ang ibig sabihin po ng 4 squared ay 4 times 4. And then, alam natin na ang sagot ay 16. And then, ang 16 ay perfect square. Number 2, square of 3 tenths or 3 tenths squared. Ibig sabihin, 3 tenths times 3 tenths, ang answer po natin ay 9 hundredths. Ang 9 hundredths po ay perfect square. Narito ang ilan sa mga listahan ng perfect square natin. So, simula sa 1 hanggang 900. Ang ibig sabihin po nito ay minultiply yung mga numbers na nasa kaliwa ng equal symbols, minultiply po sa kanyang sarili. Kaya ang sagot nila ay perfect square. So, we have the square root. Ano naman po ang square root? Square root is one of the equal factors of a number. A square root of a number is a number when multiplied to itself will give the original number. So, square root naman po, kapag nag-multiply ka sa sarili, ang sagot po ay yung original number. Okay? Example, the square root of 25 are 5 and negative 5. Kasi 5 times 5 ay 25 and negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Ayan. So, minultiply yung 5 sa sarili, positive 5. Ang sagot, 25. Negative 5, minultiply sa sarili niya, ang sagot ay positive 25. So, ulitin ko, ang square root ay yung mga equal factors ng isang number. If the square root of a number is non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, then it is an irrational. So, kapag ang square root po ng isang number ay hindi eksakto, so, ito po ay irrational. Yan, example. The square root of 8 in symbol, we have square root of 8 like this is an irrational number since 8 is not a perfect square. So, lahat po ng mga number na hindi perfect square, we can say that those numbers are irrational number. Okay, another terms, we have principal root. Ano po ang principal root? If 4 squared is equal to 16, then 16 is a perfect square. Square root of 16 is 4. So, yung 4 po, siya po yung principal root. Next one, negative root. Ano naman po ang negative root? If the square of negative 4 is equal to 16, then the square root of 16 can be negative 4. So, ang negative root po natin ay yung negative 4. Parts of radical expression. Ayan. So, ito po ang tinatawag nating index. Ayan. Okay. So on the left side of the radical sign, ang tawag po natin doon ay index. Pero kapag square root po ang pinag-uusapan, hindi na po natin ilalagay dito yung 2. It understood that the index is 2. And then, ang symbol po na ito, ayan, ang tinatawag pong radical sign. And then, yung nasa loob po ng radical sign, ang tawag po natin dito ay radicand. And then, yung answer natin sa square root, ang tawag po natin doon ay root. Okay, the next one, radical expression. An expression containing an nth root of a number where n is the index of the root. So, ayan, pag nakita po tayo ng radical sign and then may given po sa loob, may radicand kompleto, may sagot, ang tawag po dun ay radical expression. A root having an index of 2 is called a square root. So, binanggit ko na po kanina, kapag ang index ay 2, ang tawag po natin doon ay square root. Okay? Ito po yung symbol natin. Ayan, square root. Ito naman po, cube root kasi ang index niya ay 3. So, note, roots of higher index are referred by using ordinal numbers like 4th root, 5th root, and so on. So, kapag mas mataas na po sa index na 3, ang tawag na po natin doon ay 4th root, 5th root, 6th root, and so on. So, according po sa ordinal numbers. Okay, next one is the radical sign. It is a symbol that represents a radical expression. It is used to denote a root of a number is to be extracted. So, ito po yung radical sign natin. Ayan, radical sign. The next one, principal root. It is the positive root. Ayan, so positive root po sa square root. Then root is the result of extracting a radical expression. Ayan. So, pag nag-extract na tayo ng radical expression, ang sagot po doon ay tinatawag na root. Radicand, a number inside the radical sign. Ito po yon, radicand. And this is the root. Ayan, yung sagot po sa radical expression. The next one is the index. It is a positive integer greater than 1. It indicates the order of the radical or which nth root is required. So, makikita po natin yung index on the upper left corner of the radical sign. Nature of principal root. Letter A, if the radicand is a positive number, then the principal root is the positive nth root. Note, n is either even or odd. Okay. So, kapag ang radicand po ay positive number, ang principal root niya ay yung positive nth root. Example, the square roots of 81 are 9 and negative 9. In symbol, look at this, is equal to 9 or negative 9. Ang radicand po natin dito ay 81. Nakita natin, positive po siya. It can be written as, okay, square root of 81 is equal to positive or negative 9. So, ito po kung paano natin isulat yung square root of 81 and then yung root niya, positive or negative 9. So, ngayon, ano po ang principal root? So, ang principal root niya ay positive 9 kasi positive po yung radicand ni square root of 81. Next example, the cube root of positive 27 is 3. In symbol, look at the symbol. Ayan. So, meron po tayong index na 3. Ang radicand po natin ay positive 27. So, ang sagot po natin dito ay 3. Ano po kaya ang principal root nito? Ayan. Ang principal root po niya ay positive 3. Letter B. If n is odd and the radicand is negative, then the principal root is the negative nth root. Example, the cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. So, look at the symbol. Ayan. Sabi po dito, if n is odd, and the radicand is negative. Ayan. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin po nito, kapag ang n natin or yung index natin ay odd, ayan, and the radicand is negative, then the principal root is the negative nth root. Okay, so ito po yung index natin, which is 3. Yan. Ang negative cube root po ni 3 ay negative 2. So, ulit, ang negative o ang radicand po ay negative 8. Okay. Now, so let us have, then the principal root niya is negative 2. Okay? So again, principal root po ay negative 2 kapag ang index niya ay odd and then yung radicand niya ay negative. Next one, letter C. If n is even or odd and the radicand is 0, the principal root is 0. Example, the fourth root of 0 is 0, the fifth root of 0 is 0. In symbol, look at this. Ayan. So, ang radicand po niya ay 0. So, kapag ang radicand po ay 0, syempre, ang principal root niya po ay 0 din. Okay, next letter D. If n is even, so tandaan ha, ang n po natin ay yung index. If n is even and the radicand is negative, the principal root is undefined. Okay. Example, the fourth root of negative 16 is undefined. Okay. Ayan. So, radicand is negative and the index is even. Okay. Kasi, wala na pong number kapag minultiply sa kanyang sarili ng 4 na beses, ang sagot ay negative 16. Ulit, wala pong number na kapag minultiply sa kanyang sarili ng 4 na beses, kasi ang index po natin ay 4, ang sagot po ay negative 16. Wala po. Kaya, ang sagot natin dyan ay undefined. Ano ba yung undefined na yan? Undefined means an expression does not have meaning and it cannot be determined. Ayan. It cannot be determined yung negative fourth root. It cannot be determined yung fourth root ng negative 16. Kaya po, ang sagot dyan ay undefined. Ayan. So, ang principal root is undefined. 49. Example 1. Illustrative example 1. Find the principal root of square root of 49. So, ang solution po natin, square root of 49 is equal to positive or negative 7. This means that the square root of 49 is either 7 or negative 7 because 7 times 7 is equal to 49 and negative 7 times negative 7 is equal to 49. Thus, square root of 49 has a principal square root of 7 and it is rational. Okay. Now, bakit po positive 7? Ayan. Kasi ang tinatanong po natin, yung principal is square root. Okay, so it is positive 7. And then positive 7, therefore, it is rational. Illustrative example 2. Determine whether the principal root of a given number is rational or irrational. Sample 1. Letter A. Square root of 15 is equal to positive or negative square root of 15. Ayan. So, yung 15 po is the radicand. Okay? And, again, 15 is the radicand. It is not a perfect square. If the radicand is not a perfect square, then the principal square root is irrational. So, titingnan po natin yung radicand. Kapag hindi siya perfect square, okay, it means that the principal square root is irrational. Okay? Now, letter B. So, square root of 400. So, ang square root po ni 400 ay 20. Bakit naging 20? Kapag minultiply mo yung 20 sa kanyang sarili, ang sagot po ay 400. Okay? So, therefore, it is a rational. Next, 1 square root of 1 over 9 is equal to 1/3. Ayan. Ang 1/3 po ba ay rational? Of course, it is a rational. Okay? So now, sana po may naintindihan. Let's move to the next. Determine which two consecutive integers the square root of a number lie. Find two consecutive integers where square root of 75 lies in between. Okay, so hanapin daw po natin yung magkasunod na integer wherein yung square root of 75 ay nasa gitna nila. So, paano pong gagawin? Let us have identified the two consecutive perfect squares where the square root of a number lies and express it in radical. So, ito po yun. Step 1. The two consecutive perfect square are 64 and 81. So, di ba, yung 64 and 81, nasa gitna po yung 75. So, lagyan po or gawin po siyang radical expression. Okay, so 75 or square root of 75 is in between the square root of 64 at saka po square root ni 81. So, anong gagawin pagkatapos? Ayan. The square root of 75 is between the square root of 64 and the square root of 81. Okay, now, extract the principal root of two perfect squares. Step 2, ayan, square root no 64 ay 8, square root no 81 ay 9. So, ano yung two consecutive integers? So, we have 8 and 9. Ayan. So, yung square root of 75 lies between 8 and 9. Okay? Example 2. Between which two consecutive integers does square root of 6 lie? Ayan. So, yung square root of 6, hahanapin mo yung dalawang perfect square wherein yung square root of 6 ay nasa gitna. Ano po ba yung dalawang perfect square? So, ayan. Ang dalawa pong perfect square na nasa gitna yung 6 ay 4 at saka 9. So, alam natin ang 4 at saka 9 ay perfect square. So, nasa gitna, of course, yung 6. Next. Yan. So, get the square root of 4 and then get the square root of 9. Ano po ba ang square root ni 4 at saka ni 9? Ang sagot po natin ay 2 at saka 3. Yan. 2 and 3. Therefore, thus the square root of 6 lies between 2 and 3. So, i-pause ang video at sagutan ang learning task na ito. Ayan. Anong gagawin? Tell whether each of the following is rational or irrational. If it is rational, give the principal root. Sabihin mo lang kung rational or irrational yung mga numbers na ito. Tapos, kung rational siya, hanapin po ang principal root. Per letter B, between what two consecutive integers the square root of a number can be found. So, ayan. Yung mga number na ito, hanapin mo yung dalawang magkasunod na number wherein yung mga given na ito ay nasa gitna. Okay? I-pause ang video at sagutan. Let us end our discussion by a math quote. Go down deep enough into anything and you will find mathematics by Dean's lecture. Thank you for watching and please support Ma'am Des Math Tutorial. See you on my next video. Bye-bye!